Hello, and welcome to the Fresh Air Show.
What is up, guys? And welcome to a brand new episode of the Fresh Air Show. Yep, we're back. Took a while due to updates and personal business from us, but hey, finally got it in this month. So here it is. So, have you guys been since the last podcast?
Alright. Not much going on.
Just the usual, really.
Well, movies starting in 2020. It's been a bit of a rocky start, but Dudley, you've already seen the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. So,
Yes.
thoughts?
It was amazing. It was amazing.
Love it.
Wow. Was it as
I
good
loved
as
it.
Was it as good as Detective Pikachu?
Okay, so I have heard people online. There's been a load of thumbnails on YouTube for it's done better in the box office than Detective Pikachu. It's done better in the box office than Birds of Prey, supposedly. So my opinion on that is, I shouldn't really say this, but I never found Deadpool hilarious. Like, I don't find, for some reason, Ryan Reynolds isn't leaving me rolling with laughter, and I don't know why. It's still
You know why
good.
that is?
Why was?
Because you're a prude.
Yes, that is blatantly the reason. How did you know? but that is fair enough. But I thought that was the reason. But then when I watched Detective Pikachu, Ryan Reynolds wasn't making me laugh as much either, and I thought, this is strange because Pokemon, I'm just all over it. I really like Detective Pikachu, but the Sonic movie is a lot funnier than the Detective Pikachu film. So,
Really?
I think it was funnier. And,
So,
Is it Jim Carrey who is Eggman?
yeah.
That may have had something to do with it.
And if there's any of you wondering out there, without going into too much detail about lore and all that stuff, in this he's called Robotnik, but later on in the film he does get nicknamed Eggman. So he's both technically in this, which is clever. So I think it's pretty good.
Nice.
now, from what I've heard online, apparently the infamous internet meme of Sonic makes a cameo in this movie.
I can't actually remember. But then again, maybe I didn't have the eyes out for it because I thought it was memed up as...
Really? Wasn't there isn't there like a little scene where someone's at a bar and they have like a little scribble of what Sonic might look like?
It's just Sonic.
I'd have to watch it again. I don't remember because Sonic's in disguise at that point. So,
Well, I'm going with the internet on this, and I'm holding out that Sonic is in this.
to be fair, there are a lot of tributes spread out through this movie. Like, for instance, back in the day, or still currently, Robotnik's robots have been referred to as badniks. And at one point, you do see a label for badniks in the film and stuff like that. It's like, they actually really went to town to tribute it, and I commend them for it. I mean, we've had, we talked about it before, how all these live-action things with Yogi Bear, Woody Woodpecker, all this, the Smurfs, this dropping them into our modern day and like them interacting with our world, and it's horrible. This and Paddington are the gold standards. They are very good. And as Robotnik says in the film, it's evolution, people. It's evolution!
So, do we see any other Sonic characters aside from Sonic and Robotnik?
Well, you do see a baby Sonic, which is a young Sonic, which this seems to be the year of baby things, as you might know. We've had a baby. We've had a baby Yoda. We've had Pikachu as a baby because he's been given a backstory now in the series, which is like, my god. But anyway, you see a young Sonic, and this is before he ends up on Earth. So you do see some things scattered about on his world. I won't spoil what they are, but you do see some things. And without spoiling anything else, post-credits, people, there are 2 scenes in the credits, so watch those. That's all I'm going to say.
So, I've not seen it yet, but is there... Do you think there'll be any sequels to this?
They do... It is left on a note that they're hyping up sequels. And, do you know, when I was watching it, it actually, and this in a good way, I mean this, it felt a lot like a Marvel film. Like, it felt like if this was a Marvel film, this would be Captain America the First Avenger, and it would lead into a big cinematic universe with Sonic.
Okay.
Sonic Cinematic Universe.
I would love that. I'm a Sonic fanboy, but I do have to say, there were legitimate points in this where I thought that a live-action Mario was going to appear in it. Because it felt like they were hyping up that, but that didn't happen, so...
The ultimate rivalry, Mario and Sonic.
I know. I thought, they haven't, have they? But if they have, then kudos. A live-action... But you never know, we might get live-action Nintendo stuff in the future. Are we going to get a live-action Samus film? Are we going to get a live-action Mr. Game & Watch film? No, I doubt it. Let's see.
Yeah. Something interesting which was brought up from non-Sonic fans in terms of moviegoers. Apparently a lot of people were upset that the Sonic movie was doing better than Birds of Prey, featuring Harley Quinn, and apparently it was just, they were just being really salty. Like, we want the DC movies to succeed, and yet this blue fuzzball is doing better than everything.
Probably has something to do with the train wreck of the design that it started out with.
Yeah, I think we know that the Sonic fandom is a crazy and massive fandom. Like, so I think it's not a surprise. I mean, I actually watched Birds of Prey, and it was alright, and I know how you feel about him, but Jared Leto doesn't appear in it, and I wish he had, even just for 5 seconds, because I quite liked him as Joker.
Right.
But yeah, the Sonic film, very good. In fact, I want Sonic to come in here right now into our studio. I want to shake his hand. I did promise I would if it was good. So,
yeah, he did. Well, a guy can dream.
You're listening to The Fresh Air Show.
Like I said earlier, this year's films have been off to a bit of a rocky start. One movie which I was really disappointed in, even though I haven't seen it yet, but just from what I can see online, it's been a bit of a flop, and that is Doolittle.
really?
Yeah. Now, when I first saw the trailer for this movie, I thought it looked like the most whimsical thing ever. Because you've got the basic plot of Dr. Doolittle himself traveling across the sea on this pirate ship with his team of animal assistants, fighting off pirates and encountering tigers and dragons, apparently, to heal their ultimate patient, basically.
One of these things is not like the others.
Yeah. Surprisingly, this was the original plot of the book.
Well then.
Well, I do have to say, when I was a kid, we're talking back when I was like 5 or 6, I got taken to a theatre show for it, or a pantomime or something. And I always have this image of when there's a shipwreck and the ship gets attacked by a giant lobster. And and it was a really good performance, but so Eddie Murphy's Dr. Doolittle was very good. But when I saw this trailer, I thought, oh, it seems like they're going in that adventure-y sort of direction.
Yeah, because I get it. I mean, anyone can... I mean, I get it. If you call somebody Dr. Doolittle, you immediately think, oh, this person can talk to animals. I get that with the Eddie Murphy version, because this is a man who can talk to animals, and he's part doctor, part veterinarian. So that makes sense, but it's... In this film, they tried to go the original direction of the book, but it's just not executed well, because they have to throw in the kid tropes of fart jokes and, oh, let's set off to find this plot device. And what do you know? They find it. And it's just so disappointing that the Eddie Murphy version, a film which a lot of people remember but didn't exactly do well, is the one that's going to be remembered more.
I remember seeing in the trailer for it. I haven't actually seen the film yet, so I didn't know anything about dragons. That's interesting, but it looked like Shere Khan had hopped out of the Disney live-action Jungle Book into this film in the trailer.
Yeah.
Because
it's just like, forget the Jungle Book, I quit.
Yeah. The cast also looked pretty interesting. I mean, Robert Downey Jr. as Doolittle himself, and I can see that role working, because Robert Downey Jr. famously played Sherlock Holmes in the Sherlock movies, and in terms of the animals, you had Selena Gomez as a giraffe, you had Tom Holland, aka the current Spider-Man, as a dog, and John Cena as a polar bear. So
John Cena! Also, Robert Downey Jr. Actually, forget what I was about to say because I was wrong. Do you know what though? I never listen to reviews online, because each to their own. You know, one person could enjoy a film that everybody else doesn't like. I mean, I will openly say I love Phantom Menace from Star Wars, but everybody hurts on it, all that stuff. You never know. This could be the most amazing film in the year for all we.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it, because a lot of the times when people rate a movie, I'm like, oh wait, this movie did badly. Oh, okay, I'll be the judge of that. But to see it at like 20 or lower on Rotten Tomatoes, that's when you know you've screwed up.
I will say I can understand why people tease it, but I looked at the Rotten Tomatoes review for the first Pokemon movie, and that was rated quite low, and I was like, okay, I was like, fair enough. Well, actually, I wasn't fair enough. I was kind of like, really? Some of that stuff? I don't know. I said, well, they must like the second one, because that's bigger and grander and stuff. And the second one was lower, even lower. And I was like, what?
You know, Dudley, I have a neat little life hack to trick myself into thinking that something is better reviews. Now, when you have a movie that's based on a TV series, you need to remember that this movie's likely going to be made for the fans. So if you cut the review if you cut the review ratings in half, whereas say the Pokemon movie, I think that's at like 40% or something. Suddenly, when you cut that in half, oh, it's at 80%. So therefore, it's well remembered among the fans. And what do you know? It is.
That's true, because it's catered to the fans. You don't go to see a movie without knowing something about it. Well, unless it's brand new, obviously.
Yeah.
But then again, Sonic isn't guilty of that. Sonic introduces new fans, which is obviously the first Pokemon movie didn't do. But Sonic welcomes newcomers, which is just quite nice. I don't know.
So speaking of Pokemon movies, on Netflix, the remake of the first Pokemon movie in full CGI will be released relatively soon, and finally, it will have Mewtwo's origin story in the opening. No matter how many copies of the Pokemon movie that I have, it never includes the hidden origin to Mewtwo's backstory.
One with Amber?
Yeah, the birth of Mewtwo. It's called. It comes with the DVD for Mewtwo Returns, which is the special that was a sequel to the first movie. But it's not on the Mewtwo Returns VHS, so you won't find it there either.
Yeah. So yeah.
But that's good.
Now people will finally understand. This is where this creature comes from. This is why he was created in the first place, because... do I need a spoiler alert on an intro that not many people have seen?
Probably.
I think if you to play it safe, if you haven't seen the birth of Mewtwo, you probably want to go away and check it out now, because it is worth watching. But,
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you're back? Great. Now I can go on with my point. Because in the trailers, you can see small snippets of the scientists wandering through the woods and Mew peeking on them curiously. Those scenes are important to Mewtwo's original origin, so that's a good indicator that it's going to be implemented in this. So, yeah.
Yep.
Well, I mean, those scenes that we see in the trailer are in the original video, though. So, but hopefully they do include the Amber thing, because that deserves to be put in there. Kids have handled tougher things than what we saw in that, even though some things are quite dark in it.
Yeah.
If you, but we'll have to see. I remember they announced this was announced ages ago. It was announced before the live action Lion King came out in the cinema, and I thought, 2 of my favourite movies being remade? Okay, this I've got to look into.
Yeah, we see them purely out of nostalgia. So, yeah. Whatever you watch, each to your own opinion. So, yeah.
The sad thing is, I'll still never see the first Pokemon movie in cinema. It's coming straight to Netflix.
Maybe someday, Dudley. Maybe someday.
You are listening to the Fresh Air Show.
Well, you've waited long enough. It's time for the month's most ridiculous headlines.
The best part.
All right. These were quite delayed headlines, but I'm bringing them up now before we forget about them. In this month's news, Disney kills the Fox name for 2 movie studios.
Oh.
So,
Wow.
you know how Disney recently bought 20th Century Fox?
Yes.
Apparently, starting now from 2020, anytime 20th Century Fox produces a movie, anytime you see the logo, you won't see the Fox part of the logo anymore. So it'll just be 20th Century Studios.
That's odd.
That's going to be something to get used to.
Yeah, because think about this. With this recent purchase, these are the things that Disney technically now owns. The Simpsons,
Oh, God.
the Ice Age movies,
Hmm.
the Planet of the Apes franchise.
Family Guy.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
You've also got speaking of which, hey, 20th Century Fox, if you're not gonna hand over the X-Men and the Fantastic Four, we'll just buy your entire company. So yeah,
Yeah.
now
In the words of that goofy TikTok I watched recently, Disney wants to buy the sun.
yep, like we've talked about in a few podcasts ago, Disney buying everything. So yeah, so now that
They're going to be going after game companies next.
potentially, so yeah, now the Fantastic Four and the X-Men are now back in Marvel's hands. Will we potentially see them in the MCU?
Well, I think there's still some things going on at the moment with rights and things. Like, I think Tom Holland's Spider-Man is now owned by Fox, whereas there's still this, that, and the other going on. So it's possible we'll see Tom Holland appear in Venom's sequel, which is quite interesting. But there's still a bit of back and forth going on here. It's like how Disney Plus didn't come to the UK until March, but it came out in November for America, and I thought it was to do with that. It's to do with, like, apparently it's to do with Sky's rights to what they can air on there. Well, I mean, this is what I've heard. I don't know how true it is, but there's still a load of rights and things going on here. So if they do own the X-Men now, that's quite cool. I guess that means they also own. Does this mean they own Aliens now and Predator and things?
I think it does.
So we could see Darth Vader meet a Xenomorph at some point.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Good grief. Think about this. The Xenomorphs could potentially be Disney characters.
Can you imagine that? These horrible aliens in, like, that bubbly sort of hand-drawn animation style with the big sparkly eyes.
I think that's basically Planet 51. You remember those xenomorph dogs in that movie? Anyway.
Do you think that there'll ever be a day where, like, I know Rawa doesn't know about this, but do you remember when I sent you that trailer ages ago, Dad, for a movie thing I was making of all these different characters in it? Like,
oh yeah,
Yoda,
you're a magnum opus in terms of your comic crossover.
Yeah. Well, that no one really knows about it, but it featured, like, Mickey Mouse, Bugs Bunny, and Yoda as the main characters. And now Mickey and Yoda are both owned by Disney since I made that. So will it eventually get to the point where all the characters we know and love will be able to be crossovered? I mean, that would be...
Potentially.
Oh, gosh.
It's overwhelming, yeah. Which will bring us to the next headline. A burly Disneyland guest has broken the Excalibur sword while trying to pull the sword from the stone at the iconic attraction.
So does that mean he gets to rule England 50% of the time, or...?
Potentially.
I think it means he should definitely not rule. Because he broke the sword.
Yeah, for those of you who want some context, apparently at Disneyland there's an attraction where it's like the sword and the stone, like the anvil and the sword, and people can pose with it for photo ops, etc., and you can try and pull it out. And apparently this guy yanked so hard that half the sword came out, and he was like, I kinda did it.
I reiterate, does that mean he gets to rule England for 50% of the year?
Yeah.
He totally should have raised it up and gone, I have the power!
So, yeah, that happened. And Disney has since taped up the anvil until they get the sword fixed to it again. So yeah, we don't know who this mystery person is, but wherever you are, hail to the king.
For the first 6 months of the year.
Yeah, for the first 6 months. Okay, here's the next headline that I have. A parent's brutal response to a children's refusal of family outing has gone viral.
Oh dear.
Now, here's the story of what happened. An Australian couple's parenting skills have been applauded around the world after their apparent response to their children's refusal to go on a family outing went viral. And the parents basically said to their 3 kids, "Hey kids, you've done brilliantly in school. How about we go on a family outing, just the 5 of us?" And the kids were like, no thanks, I'd rather be at home and play my online games on my PlayStation or whatever. And so, what did they decide to do? They decided to take the hardest working member of the family on that outing, without the kids. The Rooster. That's right.
Oh man.
They took the internet router on their family outing without the kids.
Oh lordy.
And there's apparently there's like a slideshow of like the multiple pictures they took. Like they ordered like the most expensive item on a restaurant's menu for the router. There's like a picture of it on like one of those kiddie swings, just and the kids were left without internet apparently, so
Oh, the horror.
Well, they're left with a babysitter, that's the important thing.
well, I think they may have been old enough to take care of themselves, but still. Wow.
Parenting.
Yep. So, just bear that in mind, kids. If your parents are suggesting a family outing, be sure to accept...
Lock up your roosters.
Yeah. Lock up your roosters, because they might be the ones going out for the most expensive and wonderful day out.
Yeah.
Okay. And the last headline that I have is this. A police robot told a woman to go away after she tried to report a crime, and then sang a song as it left.
Wait. The word police and robot fell into the sentence somewhere there. Could you explain this amazing cross of words that you just said again? Just say that one again for a second.
Okay, let me read it again. A police robot told...
No, I can't accept that. You've got to say it again. It's hard to process.
Nice and slow this time.
Yes,
nice
yes,
and slow.
alliterate.
Police robot.
No, you've lost me. Just try anyway. Do tell the story. Just go.
So,
Oh dear.
apparently, these police robots, which basically look like sort of time capsule looking things, they wander around with 360 cameras, like keeping an eye out for potential crimes. And this woman basically asked for help because she saw a brawl break out, and the HP Robocop, apparently that's what it's called. Yep, Robocop is real, just not as we think he is. And this Robocop apparently told her to step out of the way, and then it just rolled away, humming what the woman calls an intergalactic tune, as it just walked away.
So is this like going around on like little treads or something, and like it's how does it get about? Does it have treads or wheels, or does it like?
Yeah, because I think it's pretty hard to see, but it wouldn't be hard to just tip this thing over, but I wouldn't want to because these things are above the law.
This is evolution, people. It's evolution.
So this scenario is just straight out of a cartoon. Like, oh, officer, officer, there's a crime going on over there. You have to stop them. Out of the way, lady. I've got business to attend to.
Well, the ladies just sat there like, but I just imagine maybe the robot had a long day. Like she went up to him and was like, "Help! There's a brawl." And he was like, "Nah, I need my coffee." I mean, if it was 10 p.m., maybe it's just like, "Nah, it's alright. You'll be fine."
Right, love.
I want to know what country this was as well.
It was in.
Was it America?
It was in L.A. apparently.
Of course it was. Oh, so this robot was slightly more effective than the police usually are over there.
So yeah. It's just
A police robot. This sounds like the start of Treasure Planet or something. I mean, come on, just like.
My God, Treasure Planet. That is.
Oh, those guys! I love those guys.
Step away, madam. We don't care.
That immediate rush of memories there, because Treasure Planet was just nostalgia for me. Even though some of it did leave us a lot of questions, like how are they able to breathe in space on a cyber pirate ship? But hey, they're telling a story, and that's what matters.
I never thought of that before. Thanks for ruining it for me. I mean,
Sorry.
I was more interested in the other worlds that we never got to see that looked so interesting.
Yeah, from the gateway later on.
yeah.
Maybe talk about that in the next podcast.
Alright. So yeah, those are the month's headlines. And what'll Easter bring for the next one? Well, let's find out next time.
Well, I know one thing it will bring. A sequel to the live-action Pizza Rabbit.
Oh, seriously?
Yes. I haven't even seen the first one. I don't want to see it.
Hey boy. Next segment.
I'm Randy Newman, and you're listening to the Fresh Air Show. I'm Randy Newman.
Happy birthday, Dudley!
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh wait, Rowan! Don't! You're breaking the law!
Don't let the robot policeman come in to stop it.
Have you
No,
heard
don't
it?
let the robot policeman come along to tell me to get out of the way, then continue its merry way.
Yeah. Have you? Yeah, but have you heard of that? Anytime you sing "Happy Birthday," you're breaking the law.
Yeah, because people have tried to copyright it so many times.
Yeah, because apparently the original person who came up with the Happy Birthday song, like, didn't get the chance to patent it or copyright it, and then their kids started singing it in the playground until eventually it spread all around the world. And now, technically, every time you sing Happy Birthday, you're breaking the law because it's an uncopyrighted song.
I've seen a video of an Alexa. Someone gave it a Pikachu voice. And Pikachu sings "Happy Birthday," and it sounds amazing. It's just like...
You okay, Rowan?
Water went down the wrong way.
Oh.
Oh.
So, So yeah, it was your birthday recently, Dudley. So did anything interesting happen?
Do you want to wait for Rowan to... Oh, sorry. Just cut this bit out, Dan. And then...
Sorry about that.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll carry on from your question. Yeah, it's been a good birthday. It was yesterday. And I recently... well... we went out for a couple of meals. I've been playing this new card/board game recently called Disney Villainous. I don't know if you've heard of it. And I got an expansion for that for my birthday. It's a really addicting game. It's really fun. I purchased the old Aladdin and Lion King games on the Switch from back in the day, which is good. I know.
Yep. So, did any interesting stories happen during that time?
Most of the time, it was pretty standard, to be honest. I mean, I went to a friend's and I watched Doctor Who because that was on yesterday, and I bought a new car recently, so I've been like popping around in that a little bit.
Nice.
But
Sonic?
I would say Sonic. Oh, come in! Shake my hand! Shake my hands!
Congratulations.
Carry on.
Yeah, nothing absolutely amazing has happened for my 28th, but it was nice. It was just a nice chilled birthday.
Nice.
Very nice.
You know, speaking of Switch games, gosh, Animal Crossing New Horizons. So desperate to play it.
I've been trying not to watch the new Nintendo video that's showcasing a lot of stuff. I forget what it's called.
The Nintendo Direct.
Yes, Nintendo Direct. That's it. But I got introduced to Animal Crossing. I got my sister Animal Crossing New Leaf on the 3DS, and she quite liked it. And I thought it's pretty fun. Then I picked one up for myself because I thought, oh, it's fun for multiplayer. Then I got it for my mum as well, so we were all playing that together. But to get Animal Crossing now, I haven't really thought about online stuff, but it would feel wrong getting it now without someone else living with me to play it alongside with. But at the same time, I'm there like, I want.
Because, you can do so much more, where in the previous games you were just the mayor of this town. Now it's practically turned into Minecraft. You can do practically anything there.
Craft stuff, play stuff outside.
Even shaping the landscape as well.
Awesome. And there's so many amazing combinations for characters and stuff from what I've understood. Though, we need Retsuko to make an appearance, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. They could potentially fit the Animal Crossing style. However, I have... because I've been playing Animal Crossing for years, even back since the original... Well, not the original, but the DS game, and I've been playing Let's Go to the City, New Leaf, and now New Horizons on the horizon. So, yeah. Yeah, I have, over the years, I've sort of kept a note of the residents I would like to see visit my town. And people have tactics of getting people to just move out of their towns. Like, there's always that the co-optional podcast talks about this stuff already, how they have a habit of like bullying the residents they don't want out of their town.
I think based on this, you and me are gonna have to add each other a new leaf after this podcast.
Oh, I've not played New Leaf in years. The town's gonna be in absolute chaos if I just decided to log back on now.
Yeah, they remind you about it too. You go back into it, they're like, it's been 2 years since you were here. There's weeds everywhere. They moan at you and they give you a hard time.
And there's just animal skeletons everywhere, and
It's not that dark. What about you, Ryan? Have you ever played Animal Crossing?
The only Animal Crossing I've ever played was Let's Go to the City every now and then.
nice. Yeah, because it's just Animal Crossing. It's not exactly like fantasy adventures. It's just something to keep you occupied.
Yeah.
So
It's weird. You see, it's a bit like how I got introduced to Agretzko, because I turned it on one night and I thought, okay, this is some sort of overly cutesy thing, a bit like Animal Crossing, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll give it a chance, like, for a minute. And you think that at first, and then suddenly it's addicting, and it's really good. And there are lots of, when you really think about it, there are so many games out there that have that really cutesy style, but when you play them, they're actually really competitive and addictive and stuff like that.
yeah. Speaking of which, another game which I've technically completed already. The original Ni no Kuni.
Ah.
In my mind, it's one of the greatest games ever made.
Yeah.
Because not only do you have cutscenes animated by the legendary Studio Ghibli, but you've also got an incredible story where every little detail links together and nothing is left in a plot hole. For those of you,
Available for you to buy now.
yeah,
I'm sorry.
and for those of you who want a quick summary, this is the story of Oliver, a young boy who lives in a small town with his mum and his friends. However, near the beginning of the story, his mom, ends up dying. But after weeks of grieving, his plush doll comes to life and reveals himself to be a fairy from another world. There, he explains the concept of soulmates, how if you do something in one world, you have a soulmate in his world that looks the same, acts the same, and whatever happens to either of them is potentially happening both ways. So, he discovers that his mum resembles a great sage, and so he sets off to free this sage and save his mother in the process. And
Perhaps.
here's another thing that'll help cement you buying this, Dudley. It's got a Pokemon sort of style of taming monsters and using them for battle.
Okay. All I've seen a couple of your posts of clips on, like, just like sharing Nintendo Switch stuff, and it did look pretty good, to be honest. The animation looks nice, and I like the design of the characters. I think my favourite so far that I've seen was this mouse creature that was attacking.
Oh yeah,
and,
Hickory Dock, one of the first bosses.
Yeah, and I quite liked that. So
yeah,
do you think?
Because this game is full of nursery rhyme references. Like Hickory Dock is literally a giant mouse based on the rhyme Hickory Dickory Dock. You've got a town of cats and mice called Ding Dong Dell. And the list just goes on for quite a long time, but it's pretty impressive.
How long would you say it's taken you to beat?
I can't say, but if if you're in it for the story, it took me, I think, maybe 2 weeks of full gameplay to get to the end, maybe. But yeah, you wanna if you're not interested in getting the game, whichever small percentage of you are, feel free to watch Stampy Cat's Let's Play or In the Little Woods Let's Play, because they're both how I got into the story and the gameplay. So
Cool.
yeah. So what are your thoughts on it, Ryan?
I actually had the game and it's pretty good. I never managed to finish it because stuff was going on, but yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yep. So, Dudley, have I convinced you to get it at all?
I will let you know in the next podcast.
Oh, which is quite ironic because we're almost out of time here. So, anything you want to add before we bring this to a close?
Yes, I think it's obvious, but I want both of you and loads of people watching this to go and see that Sonic film and give your thoughts, because it was very good.
Ryan?
Nothing to add, but I'll see if I can fit Sonic movie.
Okay, I'll try and see it at some point as well. So, until the next podcast, guys, see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone. See you soon.
Bye. You've been listening to The Fresh Air Show. Leave a comment down below or email Fresh Powder. See you next month for a whole new slew of content. I'm talking really fast right now because it's what they do at the end of the radio shows.